So I am back on here to do yet another Twitter analysis of another blue check Negro. And this one people are familiar with, and that is none other than Jemele Hill, or some of them call her Aunt Jemima Hill, or Jemele Hill, or whatever you would prefer to call her. Either name fits perfectly for her. So what this tweet you see on your screen basically stems from is something 50 Cent put out there talking about how he's going to endorse Trump. At the same time, I was saying Trump doesn't like black people, but he's still going to endorse him because it has something to do with the tax rates or the tax increase for the wealthy. I think they said a 62% tax increase, which is a lot of money considering if you fall into that tax bracket. And now people are throwing jabs at him, whether subliminally or overtly. And this was what Jemele Hill had to say about that at 7:56 a.m. on October 20th, 2020. I have increasingly found that black men just want better access to patriarchy. Now you got to read between the lines when she said better access to patriarchy. She's talking about the white male patriarchy. And then on top of that, Jemele Hill just told on herself and many black women who think like her. She just basically admitted in that one sentence that the black community is not a patriarchy, is definitely matriarchal, aka a gynocracy. That's why you keep hearing me say that. I remember when I first started saying that on my channel, I had a little bit of pushback from some people, but I noticed as time went on and I started to say it more and more and give more evidence to it, or started pointing people into the right direction to see what I was talking about, I get less pushback. Well, here's another example of that. She just basically said that she would prefer the black community to be matriarchal and not patriarchal. That's why she said it with such disdain. She doesn't want black men leading anything, but she is not the only one that feels that way. She says they don't actually want it dismantled. Now, one major reason I'm doing this is because of the response. One of the very first responses, it was actually the first response that she got from this person named Humanist at Decenterian. This person is a white woman. Now, think back to the analysis that I just did about Brittany Cooper when she put out that tweet about, again, black men and, her disdain for the choices that black men make that usually could benefit either themselves or the entire community. She had a response from this white man who was an attorney who was trying to piggyback piggyback on what she said. This person right here effectively did the same exact thing. They said, yep, they choose gender over race, throwing black women under the bus. Meanwhile, black women usually choose race over gender and protect black men. It's such a horrible betrayal. This is an excellent article. And I'm trying to figure out what article did Jemele Hill post or write. All I see is a tweet. I didn't know tweets were articles now, but okay. But it's the fact that this person who was palm colored was comfortable enough to come under this post that Jemele Hill tweeted and agree with what she said, much like how that PC man came under Brittany Cooper's post and what she wrote in disparaging about black men and felt comfortable. This is the second time in a week that this has happened from people who have a decent following. Are y'all starting to see the pattern here? They put out this dog whistle like that, and then it invites uninvited people in. I was not expecting to see this again twice in 1 week, but here we are. So let's see what was under this particular post, this humanist. Okay, let's start reading some of these responses. Shout out to Remember Poison Springs, because I think that is somebody that follows me. It says, BS, if you're a strong, independent black woman, you don't need a heterosexual black man to protect you. We're not your unpaid bodyguard dolls. I don't know if he realizes that this person is palm colored that they were responding to. And shout out to the Black Miss Black. She said, you're white. And she is. This person says, why are they so comfortable saying these type of things? Let's see what some of these responses are looking like. They said because people like Jemele gave them the audacity, the caucasity. And look, here you have one right here. But she is completely correct. Does someone's skin color stop them from speaking on prejudice or injustice? The only reason this Spear Ari chick agrees with what that white woman said is because she was talking about black men. Had it been a white woman speaking ill of a black woman, she would have been like, oh, F her. See, this is the thing right here, and I have to address black women on this. Many of you claim to not like Becky, Karen, Heather, Hannah, Gretchen, but the minute Becky, Karen, Gretchen, Heather, Hannah, Anna says anything disparaging about black men, and you can agree with what they said, then it's all, then your sisters. It reminds me of that picture with Gloria Steinem all over again. Many won't tell you that. I'ma tell you that. You'll only agree with them to that extent. But let a black man end up with Becky, Hannah, Karen, Heather, whoever, then it's like, oh, F black men, they always want to go for Becky with the good hair. It's a weird dynamic. It's very weird. Black mixed with black, she says, yes, defend them elsewhere. This guy says, who opened the door for these people? What you even doing on the porch? They says, and we get it. You're black, blackity black. Okay, they were basically trying to come at black mixed with black. And she says, you're also white. Let's see, where can we go back here? And shout out to Taurean Walker. He says, why are you speaking? They says, this is what Malcolm X warned people about 50 years ago. Liberals who are non-black are low-key the most racist people you will ever meet. Martin Luther King Jr. said it, and Marcus Garvey said it too. Let's see. They says, could Jemele Hill and them made them comfortable enough to speak on black men? Because what Jemele Hill is saying plays into exactly what they want. They says, these are the people they're tweeting for. I'm confused as to where her opinion matters on this topic, especially when her race tends to not like black people at all. Let's see. You read that one. This is because when you are powered by a black woman to speak negatively about black people as a Karen and not get called out on it, this is a result of lane swerving. And they basically made a little diagram right here where it says, I can't read what it says. I think it says black business, and then it just has all these other parameters outside of it. Blue check mark blacks be making white women way too comfortable, as we can see with the last Twitter analysis and now this one. They says, I said this, the fact that white people like her can feel empowered enough to speak on black men so negatively without fear speaks to the target audience Jemele is shooting for. I'm highly disappointed in how her and Kari have turned into, no, they've been that, especially Jemele Hill. She's been on that tip since 2017. It's amazing some black men don't remember what tweet she co-signed when she had from that Damon Young over at The Root or The Weed, when he made that post about heterosexual black men being the white men of the black community. It seemed like ever since that post went out there, stuff like what Jemele Hill has posted, it follows suit. And now it all makes sense because she co-signed that tweet 3 years ago. And now she has this. So now it's all coming full circle. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to analyze from this. Let's see. Know that it's incorrect. Black input race first, and a lot of our black women put their sexual access to white men and first over the survival of their people. And it seems interesting with a person who is not black trying to talk about black issues and put down our black men. Now, this is a black woman that posted this. It almost sounds like something that could have been by a black man, but this is a black woman that posted that. It says, lady pick me House of Hotel. Yeah. Okay, look, it says, you seem to know a lot about how black people choose and move. Very interesting. And this one, this is the woman right here. She says, life experience, closest friends, living in a majority black neighborhood, serving majority black population, psychologist, studying, took courses, black history, culture experience, read as much as I can by black authors about black people, can never fully understand, but I try. Can never fully understand. So her doing all of this made her feel entitled to come in and type what she wrote in response to Jemele Hill. And even this person right here said it. You say you never fully understood, but you sit here on Twitter and run your goddamn mouth about my people. Mind your business and your manners. Exactly. She felt that reading some books and taking some courses was enough for her to come into a space and give her opinion about black people, black men in particular. I bet she's the same type of person that say, well, I slept with a black man, so that gives me insight as well to talk about it as well. But see, this is Jemele Hill's fault. She invited that element. And this one says, don't matter how many degrees, black friends, or how many years you spent in the community, you'll never know the struggle of a black person, so stay in your lane. It says, there is no amount of studying or life experience that would give you enough insight as a non-black person to place yourself in a position of expertise where you are voicing your opinions. And here's the thing. There are black people that go to majority, probably white schools. Does that mean that they have the right to throw their input on stuff that's going on with palm-colored people? And even if they did, they would kindly and quickly and expeditiously get the boot. But that's another thing that is a flaw of ours. We become so welcoming and open to accept any and everybody and all of their filth and all of their ilk. And then that's how they come in. That's how they infiltrate. And online it's so easy to do. Let's see. It's only a trivial matter to men who refuse to get there together and the women who enable them. The hit dogs are hollowing. Well, look at this. That's all you need to see. Nothing you name gives you the right. None of that makes you black people. None of that makes you know black people better. Most of the so-called history you've read isn't even correct, so that's not helping you either. The only way you can truly speak on us is to be black. It says black men were only second to black women in voting for HRC in 2016. So there's that too. Listen. Let's see. And here's that person again. What part of it did she get wrong? No, all of it. See, here's the thing. To the black women that don't subscribe to this, shout out to you. But to those of you who do, y'all, listen, I'm going to be completely honest. Some of y'all love white women more than black men do. Oh, did you just grab and clutch your invisible pearls? Well, you're about to snatch them off and your wig this time. Some of you love Miss Ann, Becky, Heather, Hannah, Anna, Gretchen, Karen, and all the other typical palm-colored women named that I can't think of at the moment. Love and lust them more than a black man ever could. Maybe not in the sexual way. Some of you probably, but in a way that you need to feel that you want to be close to them. You have emboldened them. You have empowered them. For someone like her to come into that section that Jemele Hill has created with this tweet right here and this response. And this, like I said, this was the first response. It wasn't the second or the third or the 10th. It was the first response to her post. The fact that she did that and people agree with it, other black women agree with that, lets me know that you love her more than probably life itself. But only when she has something to say against other black men. Tell me I'm lying. Please, somebody tell me that I am lying. I can honestly speak for myself. If there was a white guy that came along and said disparaging things about a black woman, I would not be up there defending that. Now, even if it's something against Jemele Hill's our problem. Yes, she's a mammy, but she's our problem. We'll deal with Jemele Hill like how I'm dealing with her right now. I would rather me say what I'm saying about her come from me, a black man, rather than a white man. But y'all, on the other hand, and that's not all of you, but people that are agreeing with her, will let a white woman come in and slander a black man. and sit back and have a ha ha and a key and a cackle like the dirty foot hoofed hyena that you are, and then wonder why nobody wants to deal with you. I'm not even talking in a intimate way. I'm talking about in a friendly way, in a personal way, in an associate type of way, whatever way. Even some family members probably wouldn't want to deal with you if they could see the stuff that you spout about them on this platform. And Jemele Hill, we already know she's been on 3 years ain't shit for me ever since that post from Damon Young on the Root. So her posting this doesn't surprise me, but it's the fact that you have this white woman right here come in and co-sign it. I already know that it's probably some black woman later down in the comments that are co-signing what Jemele Hill said. I'm not surprised, but it's the fact that you have some who co-signed what this PC woman said in agreement to what Jemele Hill tweeted, which is nothing but a pack of lies. But then they'll come back and tell you, oh, that's that hit dog hollering. No, it's not. It's called defending yourself against propaganda, which is exactly what Jemele Hill put out there. And like I said, she says black men just want better access to patriarchy. Again, she told on herself, and is telling you that the black community as a whole, as a collective, is very matriarchal. And if it ever got the chance to be patriarchal, which at this point I don't see happening, and I'm just being completely honest because it's been matriarchal for so long, it threatens the balance for them. Oh yes, we already know how it got matriarchal, because Massa Pappy, Massa Zaddy made it that way. And I'm going to quote something Harvey said. If black women are the so-called backbone of the community, why does it look like a landfill? They don't want to answer that, but want us to do this and do that. But you're the backbone, right? Reminds me of a video that I saw where you had this black man trying to organize these women on the quote unquote front lines, but got mad at him for doing so, but be the same exact ones. Oh, we out there on the front lines fighting for you, and this is how you treat us? It's weird. It's very weird. But I've said all I need to say right here. This has been another Twitter analysis about some BS, but we already know what Jemele Hill's been hitting on, which is almost pretty much nothing. And what's so crazy is Jemele Hill is married to a black man. Yes, she is married to a black man herself. And she says all this crap. It makes you wonder what he thinks about the stuff that comes out of her mouth on this platform about other black men. They think it's people like her that think they can rule us. She's scared. That's a place of fear she's talking about when she says they want better access to patriarchy. And she's basically addressing or saying that the white man's ice is indeed colder. Like, it's so much she said in just these 2 sentences. It's not even funny. And it's so easy to break down when you know your enemy. Yes, Jemele Hill is my enemy, as far as I'm concerned. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and I'll talk to you in the next one. There's one more thing I needed to add in here. I think it's very interesting that people like Jemele Hill has all this backlash for black men, when it was black men, for the most part, that came to her aid when she had made those comments about 45 3 years ago, and she was about to get put out on her ass by ESPN the first time, when they was just giving her a quote unquote paid vacation. You know what I mean when I say that? And then she comes right back around like a week later, and then that's when she co-signed what that Damon Young had to say at the Weed or the Root about black men being the white men, well, heterosexual black men being the white men of the black community. And it's just amazing how that is. This is why you find that, believe it or not, to those of you listening, you find like a lot of black men don't like to extend that olive branch out to some black women, because look at the betrayal she did for 3 years running. She makes it seem like it's black men's fault why she got fired at ESPN. Black men didn't hold a gun to her head and tell her to say that stuff about 45. She made that point to do it all on her own, on her platform. It was them palm colored men that got rid of her. But then they try to make it seem like it was black men's fault for simply not defending her, which was definitely not the case. Not all the defending in the world was going to make her keep her job, because at the end of the day, we weren't the deciding factor of whether she stayed at ESPN or not. So I just had to throw that part in there. It's amazing how amnesia just catches up to people so swiftly. And one last thing before I get off Aunt Jemele Hill hard face, at least for right now. If this is considered to be patriarchal, then it's pretty clear where she really leans. If y'all don't remember this picture, and I think I might have talked about it or may have not, but I'm sure y'all have heard about it. This was Jemele Hill and Rob Gronkowski, I believe, at the Kentucky Derby. And as you can see, Rob Gronkowski is dancing with her, and he's like literally grinding on her in a position where she would usually be in, but he's in front of her, like grinding his butt onto her, and she's just laughing and yucking it up. Now, had that been probably, say, a black man, she probably would have been disgusted by it. But look at that wide smile showing all 32 teeth as he does this to her. As a matter of fact, let me pause this right quick so you can see a full picture. And you can see the caption too. Here's the full picture. When at Rob Gronkowski backs that thing up on you, posted at 9:05 p.m. on May 2nd, 2015, 5 years ago. The internet is undefeated, Miss Hill. But soon, especially after this stunt you've pulled recently on Twitter, you will be defeated.